I'm back for another video. My name is Josh Kastic, and today, well, this is kind of a reboot, part one. I'm basically going to reboot this entire series, mostly because I just don't like how I filmed the previous videos. They're just kind of weird, and there's some things, like for Lego set, where I showed off something that was missing stuff and I didn't even notice it. It was just all kinds of weird. So, and I just finished some stuff, as well as I got some new stuff for my Hero Factory, and I originally was going to make like a 1.5 for sets and a 2.5 for Hero Factory. But looking over the videos, I decided now just to reboot this entire thing. So that's what this is. I'm going to delete the original videos, and then this is just going to be a fresh start. So what I'm going to start off are with the kind of creations, more than sets. The set stuff will be near the end. And then there's sets at the end. The last thing I'm going to show you is kind of both a set, but additions to that set that I've added, things that I've added to it, obviously to make it better, at least make it better in my opinion, that I just like. So, yeah. So let's start off with the creations. So the first thing is this spaceship. It can fly in atmosphere. It is a two-pilot. It's a two-pilot. Well, it can be flying by one person at a time, but two people can fit in here. So as I don't know if sorry, this could come off, but there's a chair there that's like yellow, and then there's a gray chair right there. I don't think you could really tell. Yeah, it's too dark. And then there's another seat, yellow seat, as you can see. And so yeah, the yellow seat is the main pilot, so you can fly from here. This is like some other controls over here that they can be used, but more or less, it's a spaceship. It has two guns and two of the boosters back here that could, and the engine is kind of right here in the front, but it kind of goes all the way back, so it's run really all. That's the main engine, and then there's tech stuff everywhere that's running through it, obviously. Back here you would think the engine, but that's where the hyperdrive or stuff works. So the engine just this is the main engine, and just runs back here to the hyperdrive and the engines to create the booster and stuff. This is like the power source here, so it does not run on fuel or anything. It's kind of it's an energy source, so basically, it's not toxic to any atmosphere. Very environment friendly ship, unless you're blasting other ships and those pieces go everywhere. And yes, which would probably not be environment friendly. But yeah, and so like I said, blasters here, and this kind of, you can see how this is shaped here. That kind of inspired me of the shape of the ghost from Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. Also made a cameo in Rogue One, and I think it made a cameo in The Rise of Skywalker 2, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. It's a little dusty in some areas because I haven't touched these sets in a while, so they've been kind of collecting dust. I did wash them off a little bit before, before making this video, but some of them are still a little bit dusty because it's hard to get everything off. But yeah, now in the previous video, this one wasn't finished, or the original video, not the previous video. I mean, this wasn't really finished, and this is why I was going to make a 1.5. It was going to be a very small video. It wasn't going to be too big or anything like that. Obviously, it's probably going to be a few minutes. So I was going to make the Lego Hero Factory video 2.5 and upload them both on the same day. But as you know, what I'm doing now. So this ship is called the T-ship. It's obviously was designed in space. There's no way that this would be atmosphere. There's no way this could fly in the atmosphere. Obviously, it's probably going to be, let's say there's a huge space station that this would dock to. Yeah, it's the reason for this is the reason why I create this T-ship. Now, this is also from a TIE Fighter piece. So it does open up here. And you can see inside, oh, I don't know if you can, it's a little, yeah, I don't think you can, but there's like a computer system here, and 2 chairs, and that's really about it. It controls the entire ship. There's 2 blasters here. This, I don't know, like, I don't know what the use of this ship would be. I mean, it does have 2 guns, so it could fight, but these are really small guns. So unless like, you know, some other things pop up in here, which is definitely possible. Actually, I might actually do that, because that would make more sense. Sorry, they're having a little lighting there, problem. But it's, yeah, so it's probably might do some combat. I don't know, I think this would be designed for combat. I mean, it's bulky, so I think it's meant to take on hits. It could be very well be, like I said, it could be a tank ship, which hasn't been, I don't think has ever been really come up with before. I mean, so this is kind of what this is kind of designed. Yeah, and what inspired me to make this is basically, this was actually, I got this bin full of toys from my brother. He doesn't play with, so he gave it to me, and I found this, well, not this, I took it apart, but I found like a T. It has the green pieces, basically all the bottom here is basically the same design. Where it was kind of split, somewhat blue and somewhat red pieces, and it was just cool. I eventually did take it apart, and, you know, I did some other things, but with it, but then I decided, you know what, it's time that I bring this back, but better, and this is what it is. This is the power source in the last ship, and it's just huge. It's just a huge tanky ship. I mean, the only pocket. This is the cockpit. This is the cockpit, and that's the only thing in there that can hold people. The rest is just not even hollow. It's just several bricks. So just a lot of red and blue, and that's kind of that. That's all I could really say about that. Next up will be sets. So this is kind of, I did customize this a little bit, but more or less it is still intact. Things I've added, I added this this gray and black piece, this black and this gray piece, and then this little part here I have added, and then as well as this little gas thing up here, which runs through a line through the car. So not only can it give it's basically, it's both a police car and a gas car. Basically, it can arrest people, but it can also give gas. So it has different fuels. It, press a button, it can fuel other cars or vehicles as well as planes and stuff like that. So obviously the back here is where captured people would go. And then there's the key to unlock the door, and the police officer would sit in there. The police officer Lego minifigures is in my bag, and that won't be till part 3. And right now, I don't know when I'm going to do part 3 at this point, because I'm still trying to collect Lego minifigures that I haven't gotten yet, and I really don't want to make that video until that point. So, it is what it is. Right now, all the Lego figures I want, it's too expensive right now to buy all of them at once, and so I probably have to individually buy them over the years, and so I don't even know when part 3 is going to come out, so that's kind of the point there. But yeah, it's it's just a police car. I can't really say any much about that. Move on to another smaller sets. Here is a Lloyd Garmadon, aka the Golden Ninja / the Green Ninja, because he was the Green Ninja, and he became the Golden Ninja for a little bit. It wasn't that long before he lost the golden power, and so once he lost the golden power, he could no longer be the Golden Ninja and went back to being the Green Ninja. But he created this golden dragon when he became the Golden Ninja, defeat the Overlord, which was basically the biggest villain of the series at that point. I think overall, if all the villains in Ninjago as they are, I think Overlord is the main villain, as Mandarin is to Iron Man. Even though he never faced Mandarin in the MCU, Mandarin was supposed to be his big bad, his ultimate enemy. Where Red Skull is to Captain America. I mean, obviously, Captain America had other big villains, but Red Skull is his main. I call his main. And I think Overlord is the Ninjago's main villain. You might think Lord Garmadon is, especially because he came back, and originally in the beginning he was, but ultimately Lord Garmadon's point in the story was eventually to get taken over by the Overlord. And so that's why I think, or that's why I feel that Overlord is the main villain. Eventually, I just bought a version of the Overlord. This version of the Overlord isn't exactly in the Ninjago show, which is really good. You should go watch the Ninjago series, not the movie. The movie is a complete trash, okay? Is completely trash. Do not go watch that. Alright? And, yeah, so there's nothing else I could really say about that. And, yeah, one-time dragon that he created, and that's what this is. Next up is another smaller set. By the way, I did modify this because one of the wing parts went missing. I took off the wing part from the other side and added to the tail and did this thing. So I like this tail a lot. It looks kind of cool, and some other things. And then I lost one of the black claws here, so I replaced it with a gray one. But is what it is. This one is annoying because it keeps falling apart. And when it kept falling apart, I lost a hand. And which is really weird is that I didn't even notice it was missing the original version of this video. It was really weird. Why? I don't even know. But I've edited it so now that basically one of the hands was, like I said, was missing. So now I've edited it. So now it has two these claws. It's not exactly the same, but it's what I mean. It is what it is. I have to have the claws on there because it'll just look weird. And I mean, it looks kind of weird because of the gold, but I couldn't really do anything else. So, and I think it looks good, for the work, and it does what I needed to do. So now what this is actually a ghost dragon, not specifically, what's his name, not Mordo, it's not Merrick either. I kind of forgot what it was, but he was originally he was from the 5th series. That's when the Ghost series was the villain, and he was the air Spinjitzu master, and he was Sensei Wu's first training, and then he kind of turned on Wu, and he eventually died, and then he came back for revenge from Wu and stuff, yeah, so that was kind of the whole point. And so that Ghost Plan, this dragon is one of his, it wasn't Merrick specifically, but one of his friends, and this actually came with another set which I will show later. But yeah, Ghost Dragon, obviously a villain, where the Golden Dragon is the good guy. Next set is this little thing. It's Nia's kind of truck, car thing, vehicle, multi-purpose vehicle, MPV. Isn't that already a thing? Yeah, whatever. So it's when she wasn't the water ninja yet. Obviously, you should definitely, like I said, if you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch the show. There's like 12 seasons now. Unfortunately, you can only get 8 on DVD. And so I really want to buy this series. But it's weird to buy all this seasons if you can't get the last 4 on DVD. Like, it's weird to buy all the seasons. Well, it's weird to get 8 of the seasons, which are on DVD, and not be able to get the rest. It just, I don't know. I mean, the way the shows are filmed are basically, it seems like they could stop where they left off, really. But I don't know. I don't like being that person. I like have it all or don't have it at all, which is probably really bad because, it's probably better to have something of it. It is one of my favorite shows, and I probably should go and buy it, but it is what it is, and I really don't want to buy it if I can't get the other season, so we'll see. But like I said, it's multi-purpose. This is where Nia would sit and stuff. There's no actual chair in it, which is kind of weird, but it's actually pretty cool. This part actually comes off. This part comes off, so it could just drive like this. Now, if you're wondering why there's no piece here, it's because one of my Wu minifigures was missing a hat, and I really needed it. I don't know where it was, and I think it looked better with a hat, so I gave it to it, or I gave Wu the hat, and I took it off the other hat from the other side, so it just looked better. Now, this, I don't know why it could be taken off, but in here it had a bike, which is, this came with a Kai minifigure, so that was his bike. It has a little robot minifigure thing. I don't know if you really could call it a minifigure. But that's what this is here. And this is a little flying thing that comes off of here. That's what that is. And if I can, which side is it? Yes, here it is. This actually opens up, and you can see some tools here. So that's actually pretty cool. So yeah, that's really about it. What's cool about that is that, though it is kind of annoying to reclose because it's the angle that you have to clip it in, but yeah. So that's pretty much it for this set here. Okay. Next up is this one. It is literally one of my favorite sets. I spent, obviously that truck thing cost a lot. I forgot how much it was, but this was over $100. Yeah. I did a lot of shoveling, people's houses everywhere to get this. This is my precious Lego set. I have not modified this whatsoever. It's completely intact. Nothing's missing. It's just I really, this is literally my precious, one of my precious things. Okay, I don't know. I can't lose any of this. It's gonna be hard to travel with it, obviously, when I move somewhere. But this is just, if you don't know what this is the bounty from Ninjago, and it is that's their ship. Eventually it keeps getting wrecked in the series, but it's one of the mainstay in the series. It always comes back in some way. It's always going to be there, and I'm glad I got this. I always wanted it. I got it, and yeah. So this is pretty cool. This is open up, so you can. This is kind of the flying. You're not. I don't think you can really see inside because of the shadowing. But it's actually pretty. This is where it will be. This is the control center in here, so you can fly. And there's also a little part here that comes out. If I can. So what this is, it pops out, and it's basically a flying bike, which is awesome. That is genius. I love that. So that is pretty cool. It comes with things so you can fix it and stuff, but that's pretty cool. I also put a seat up here if someone wants to just sit up there. So is it in? Guess it's in. Okay, it's in. Next part, the last part. That's these are gun. This thing is a gun piece here. I don't know what these are. These things are. It's like a lock thing. I don't know. It's supposed to lock something. I don't know what, but and then it's obviously a dragon. This thing actually opens up like this, and there's a mouth. Whoops, that's not what it's supposed to do. Whoops. So it's basically like a dragon mouth thing, and here, and then the last cool thing about this is this opens up. So this is how it'll fly. This in regular mode, this will float, but if you want to fly, now this is in the show, but this doesn't need to come out. But that's how they did it to make it fly. And so this is how it would fly in the air, and then this thing could shoot or whatever. That's pretty cool as well. And this will go back in and like that. Last but not least, this video is going to be very long. Hopefully, hopefully get this video shorter than the last one. The last one is my cargo plane / regular passenger plane. So this is also one of my precious sets. It costs a lot of money. I think I spent Christmas on this. It's a little dusty, so it's been sitting around. I definitely modified this a lot. I used to have a airport that came with a plane a long time ago that my grandma bought, but that kept falling apart, and I added those pieces to this. So this is the cockpit here. This opens, sorry, it's better if I have it like this. This is more cargo stuff. It'll go in here. This is where this part here, passengers will go in there and sit. And then this is more cargo here. And then this is actually pretty cool. This also opens up for cargo, and this is actually a bin full of gold. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it's supposed to be in my story with my minifigures. It's supposed to be owned by the Ninjago people, so it explains why the fire thing. Because Kai is the leader right now, so well, technically Lloyd's the leader, but in my story I made Kai the leader. So and this it has guns and stuff, so for battle, and it can also fly in space. So that I've designed it. That's pretty cool that it could fly in space. And that's all my sets. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified from the next upload. My YouTube channel website link, as well as my Twitter, is down in the description as always. And thank you. Goodbye.